VNS3 NATe was created to replace AWS NAT gateways, saving money on data transit costs while providing additional features and visibility to your cloud network. Since the start of 2024, our customers have saved over $7 million on AWS data tax by replacing NAT gateways with VNS3 NATe instances. In addition, because this is a security appliance, you can remotely access and administer the NATe instance via a point-to-site Wireguard connection at no additional cost. This really locks down your network and gives you full control and visibility, unlike AWS NAT gateways. Here are some slides that show you the cost and savings. As you can see, as more data goes through your network, savings become exponentially larger. Here's an example of a customer who had 1,800 VPCs each with a NAT gateway provisioned automatically from the VPC wizard. We swapped out all 1,800 NAT gateways with VNS3 NATe instances, with an average of 10 gigabytes of data processed per month per NAT gateway. The customer saved over $500,000 over the year by switching to VNS3 NATe. Let's begin. First, navigate to your AWS EC2 console. For this demo, we have already created a VPC with a public subnet that has internet access and a private subnet that does not. We have launched a basic Amazon Linux instance in the private subnet and the NATe instance from the AWS Marketplace in the public subnet. The NATe instance will act as a NAT gateway in this scenario to provide internet access to your private subnet. Navigate to your subnet route tables. In our public subnet where our NATe instance lives, we have a route for IPv4 and IPv6 internet with the internet gateway as the target. In the private subnets route table, we will need to add these same internet routes, but the target will be the NATe instance's ENI. Add the IPv4 and IPv6 internet routes. In the target drop-down menu, select Instance, then your NATe instance, and save changes. We highly recommend associating an elastic IP to your NATe instance. This provides flexibility in the event you need to upgrade, or if there's an underlying cloud failure. Make sure source destination checking is disabled on the NATe instance. To confirm this, select the instance. In the Actions drop-down menu, select Networking. Change source destination checking. Confirm this is stopped, then save. We have already created a security group with the necessary rules. You will need TCP port 8000 open for Web UI access. We recommend only opening this port to the IP you will be accessing the Web UI from. Port 51820 will be used to connect the overlay client via Wireguard for remote administration. In your web browser, navigate to the public IP associated with your NATe controller using HTTPS on port 8000. You will arrive at the VNS3 login page. The default username is VNS cubed, and in AWS, the default password is the instance ID. We recommend changing this password before moving forward. The NATe license includes one client pack credential for the VNS3 overlay network, which allows you to connect a workstation for remote administration and routable access to your private subnets. Enable the client pack. Go back to your EC2 console to get the private subnet CIDR. If you're using Cohesive's proprietary CNVPN client, you can simply advertise your AWS private subnet on the routes page. If you are using the official Wireguard client, you will need to add your private subnet CIDRs to the allow list in your client configuration. Copy the client pack configuration to your clipboard and open the CNVPN client. Add a new connection. Name the connection accordingly and paste in the config from your clipboard. Make sure the route polling parameter is set to true, so it automatically pulls any route updates from the NATe controller. Save the configuration and select Connect in the Actions drop-down menu. Once the client is connected, navigate to the firewall page. You will see the firewall rules that make the instance act as a NAT gateway. In the EC2 console, copy the Amazon Linux instance's private IP to your clipboard. Open the terminal app. Since we are connected to the VNS3 overlay network, we can now access the private Amazon Linux instance via SSH. When we ping from the private instance out to the internet, the traffic will use the NATe instance as a NAT gateway. On the Network Sniffer page, we can create a network filter to see the pings going through our NAT controller. Links to additional information and documentation can be found in the description of this video, including the CNVPN application setup. If you have any questions, please email Cohesive support@cohesive.net.